Hey guys, Jake Baldino from gameranx.com here. Today is August 7th, 2015, and I'm here to talk about all the cool stuff that's happened in video games this week. This show still doesn't have a name, but we're coming out with them every Friday. This week is all just pretty much stuff from Gamescom 2015, and we got a lot to talk about. Blizzard has announced another World of Warcraft expansion, this one probably releasing in 2016, called World of Warcraft Legion, or as I like to call it, World of Warcraft, please come back, please subscribe to us again, we're sorry. But in all seriousness, this expansion seems pretty cool. It raises the level cap to 110 and adds a really badass looking new hero class called Demon Hunter. This time around, Blizzard is introducing us to the Broken Isles, a new game world to explore and play in, and it looks like they're adding a lot of changes, including stuff to the PvP progression system. We're gonna be able to see for ourselves by the time a beta releases this year. And then jumping from the complete opposite of the spectrum from an MMORPG, we have Mafia 3. We got our first full look at Gamescom, and I'm really excited. We got a lengthy pre-rendered cinematic trailer that I thought was pretty engaging, and we also got some looks at gameplay that you can see on YouTube, kind of off-camera stuff. But initially, when Mafia 3 was revealed, I was like, what the hell? Where are all the trench coats and fedoras and Italian guys? There's none of that, but I think it's really interesting where things are going. The premise here is that you play as a young black male who's returned from the Vietnam War, and that's pretty much the worst situation someone could be in at that time. You play as this character who goes on to rise up and create his own organized crime and fight against the Italian mafia, and I think that's a really cool premise because it's kind of really turning the tables on the old classic mafia formula. And this time around, you have a bunch of allies, including an older Vito Scaletta from Mafia 2. That's really exciting for fans of the series. But the game's setting takes place in 70s New Orleans, and that's really unique. And like I said, this whole story premise seems like it could be something really cool. Hopefully they don't squander it. I mean, I like to really think that if this is what they chose the setting to be, the main character to be, they have a story that they want to tell, and I hope they do it right, and I hope they do it justice, and I hope they don't squander that potential. On the other hand, it looks like a fun game. You drive around, you shoot stuff. It looks a lot more arcadey and action-oriented and more heavy-duty this time around instead of more realistic like the other Mafia games, but hey, that's how things go, and it looks like fun. And in Destiny news, with the Taken King coming out, Peter Dinklage is actually being completely erased from the game. Peter Dinklage, for those of you that don't know, did the voice of the Ghost, and of course was being criticized because of how half-assed his voice acting was. Yes, of course he had to sound like a monotone robot, but it really just sounded like he was collecting a paycheck, and it was frankly kind of hilarious. Thanks to a reveal in Game Informer, we have now learned that Nolan North is actually taking the reins and voicing the Ghost from now on. But more interestingly is that Bungie is going back and totally replacing Nolan North back to the beginning of the game, so new players who start a new Destiny game, they're waking up by a ghost, and that ghost isn't Peter Dinklage anymore, it's completely Nolan North. So they wiped Dinklage completely off of the face of Destiny, which I think is hilarious. I don't think Bungie is making this change completely because of criticism. I'm sure a lot of it had to do with how expensive Peter Dinklage is, and it's just a logical move, and it seems like they want to do more quest-based stuff, so they need more voice acting, and, you know, with Peter Dinklage being expensive and half-assing it, I guess Nolan North was a better idea. So now Ghost will sound like every other video game character. Hooray! But going back to Gamescom, there's been so much announcements and reveals and looks at games, and I'm just overwhelmed. It's so crazy. The first thing, we got another look at the Xbox conference at Rise of the Tomb Raider, some more gameplay, and I want to know what you guys think about this, because honestly, I thought I was watching a scene from the original Tomb Raider reboot. It was just her running around killing guys in a dark jungle. It seemed like the same thing. Compared to the other gameplay sequences we've seen with her climbing a snowy mountain, which seemed awesome, this just seemed kind of meh. So I do want to know what you guys think. Oh, and speaking of Lara Croft, real quick, we got a release date for Lara Croft Go coming out August 27th. For those of you guys who played the awesome mobile game Hitman Go, you probably know what to expect. It looks sweet. We also got a little bit of a teaser trailer from Tecmo Koei making a Attack on Titan game, this time a real game, not just a 3DS game, but a PS4, PS3, and Vita game. And, you know, judging from what we saw, it looks cool, because Attack on Titan is freaking cool. We also got to see some Crackdown 3 gameplay, which of course I'm really excited about, and some interesting details came out, the fact being that there are two different maps, a single-player map and a multiplayer map. The multiplayer map is actually really apparently going to take advantage of that whole Microsoft Xbox One cloud processing thing that's been vaunted so much, and seemingly that's what's going to power the crazy amount of destruction that goes on screen. You can blow up and knock down any building, and they all fall apart and break and explode in real time. It's really impressive. If you guys haven't seen the gameplay, you can see some of it here. It's really cool. I'm also a Crackdown fanboy, so I'm really excited. I hope it's not Crackdown 2 all over again. We also got another good look at the Xbox exclusive Quantum Break, which looks like a lot of fun, and it seems like they really amped things up, especially replacing the main character with the actor Shawn Ashmore. For those who don't know, he has been on The Following, and he was Iceman in the X-Men movies, so that's cool, I guess. We also got a release date. It's coming out in spring of 2016, finally, after so many delays. I mean, hey, alright, I'll take it. And in another smaller announcements, a lot of Xbox stuff this year from Gamescom. PlayStation didn't really have a presence, but we are getting Ark Survival Evolved on Xbox One, the indie hit dinosaur killing hunting game that PewDiePie plays so much. Looks awesome. Can't wait to see it on Xbox. And what I thought was really cool is that Microsoft announced a Halo Wars 2. Halo Wars was a huge fan favorite, so it's really great to see that series coming back. I personally never played the original Halo Wars. Maybe I'll finally go back and check it out and see what the hype was all about. But on the flip side, we finally have a confirmed release window for Final Fantasy 15. 2016. Holy shit. I can't believe this game finally has a real year, I guess, attached to it. I'm hyped. We also got a trailer that was a cinematic of a sad dad. So, take that for what you will. Final Fantasy never stopped being you, ever. And then meanwhile, in Oculus Rift and virtual reality news... What the But one of the more exciting things EA has revealed for Star Wars Battlefront Fighter Squadron. This is a game mode in a new upcoming Battlefront that lets you fly around and participate in aerial dogfights. This is kind of like a big fuck you to everyone who was complaining about not seeing any aerial dogfighting. That being said, this looks really awesome. Of course, the best thing would be to be playing in a battlefield and running around and then hopping into a jet and flying into space and having a battle. But maybe the game can't be that huge. That's ambitious in scope and really crazy. Star Wars Fighter Squadron does just look like a good game mode. It looks really authentic. There's real TIE fighter cockpits. You can go in first and third person mode. You can team up with friends and take down and double team other ships together. And of course, what would a Star Wars game be without some fan favorite characters? While playing this mode, you can pick up a token or something and unlock special vehicles like Han Solo's Millennium Falcon and fly in and be overpowered as hell and kill everyone. Also, they flashed Boba Fett's Slave 1, which is really exciting because that's a cool ship. This Fighter Squadron mode does sound good, judging from previews and people who have played from Gamescom. Most of them say it's really fun. It's a little disorienting and a little simple, but just good, clean dogfighting fun. And I am so freaking all about that. But I want to know what you guys thought of all the Gamescom announcements down in the comments below. I threw a lot of news at you, so let's talk about it down there. What are you most excited about coming out of Gamescom? Were you a big Halo Wars fan and you're hyped that now you're finally getting it back? Rise of the Tomb Raider, do you think it looks good, or are you glad you won't be able to play it on PS4 for a while? All of our stories are linked down in the description. You can click on them and check out any of those. And also be sure to check out a video we did this week breaking down Microsoft Windows 10 and what it means for people who play video games, because that's a really cool video. You can also follow me on Twitter at Jake Baldino if you want to talk about video games and stuff, because that's fun, and I'm always there, so whatever you want. But the best thing you can do if you're new is subscribe, because we put out videos every single day. Not just with my face, because you'll get sick of me. But thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.